dig in.
Oh, we have The Player, directed by Robert Altman.
Yeah.
Is this 92?
Yeah, it's 90s.
Well, boom. On the money, 1992.
Yeah, this was a big film for Robert Altman because really his career was pretty much going down the fucking tube until he made this film. Like, every film, like, for the past couple of years before this was big box office failures and not exactly hit with the critics, so this was a very saving grace for it in this film. It's Robert Altman style where it's just a lot of, like, there'll be like 3 conversations going on at one time in one shot, and it's so good. And Tim Robbins is, of course, the main character in this. He plays like a movie executive who listens to movie pitches pretty much all day and picks out which ones are good and which ones are bad. And one day he gets a letter into his office that says the guy's gonna fucking kill him because I guess because he rejected the guy's movie pitch. So this is sort of like a screenwriter's, I'm guessing the guy who wrote this was an angry screenwriter and probably wrote this for enjoyment because, yeah, it takes a lot of jabs at those big Hollywood executives in this film, and it's so good. Who else is in there? I know Whoopi Goldberg's in there. She plays like a detective. You got little cameos in there, like from Burt Reynolds. I think Malcolm McDowell's in there as well. So is Andy McDowell.
You got some Fred Ward action going on.
Fred Ward.
Peter Gallagher. Yeah. Brian James. So he's in that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, you got a pretty good cast here. There's little funny parts in there. Like, I think there's like a scene with where he's like watching the dailies, and there's like Willie Tomlin on the screen, like bitching up a storm on the projector, and it's so funny. And yeah, this is Vincent D'Onofrio's in here. I was even told I kind of look like him from this movie, which I don't really see it, but I guess there's a little bit of a resemblance. But like I said, the film's about a guy, studio executive. He gets a letter in the mail, says he's gonna fucking die. And now he's on a quest to figure out who exactly sent him this letter. He plays detective and tries to figure it out, and he sort of makes mistakes along the way, sort of say. Sort of picks out the wrong guy, and at the end you sort of have to dig in to figure out who the guy was, because it's not exactly shown who the guy was. He's just a voice over the phone. And yeah, it's very, very good. It's very original. It's very well put together, as I can say.
Definitely beautifully directed by Robert Altman here. I believe the opening shot, I know it's a long take, but it's like 7 minutes long.
It's very long.
And I love long takes, and for a long take to work and be like beautifully done, Robert Altman like knew what the fuck he was doing. Just like Hitchcock, I mean, he just was ready to go with this movie. It's a great thriller. Saw it back in 2010 for the first time in our screenwriting class. Thank you, Richard. Beautifully shot film. I need to add it to my collection. I still haven't gotten a hold of it. I always like to make sure when I'm shopping, make sure prices go down, make sure I'm not spending too much on even movies that I love. Always try to get the best bargain for them, obviously. Amazon Prime, great fucking thing to have, obviously. But as you can see, this is one of those cases.
Yeah, those ones. I miss those ones.
And you got a little bit of description there, special features. You got that good old-fashioned flip it for widescreen, or if you're stupid, watch it on standard.
Yeah, because you don't want to watch this one on fucking standard, because it's pretty...
Let's see if they have a picture.
Pretty wide lens on this film.
Yeah, and there's so many beautiful movies shot like that. where it's not supposed to be standard and people watch it like that, and you're just ruining the movie for yourself. So please, always watch it in widescreen, unless it's like Stanley Kubrick for a couple of his movies, if not all of them. He made sure it was like standard, so it fit like that. That's how he wanted it to look, and it works perfectly for him because he chose to do that, and it works wonderfully because you're not missing anything out of the frame. Everything's there how you're supposed to see it. When a movie's shot with widescreen, watch it in widescreen, please. Detective.
Yeah, I just love the little nods that they say about Hollywood, like in that opening. Excuse me. The opening long take that just goes everywhere and it keeps in the fucking scene. The fucking take just seems to go on forever. There's even like a part in there where the one character is saying how much he can't stand how Hollywood doesn't have long takes anymore. And yeah, he's talking about how his favorite opening is Touch of Evil for that long take, and here that long take's going on as he's saying all this stuff, and it's like, this guy is speaking my language. This is Robert. This was like Robert Altman just saying, Hollywood is going down the tube. You got to start doing more riskier stuff, more inventive material. And this film pretty much is like everything that I feel about Hollywood that's going on right now. A lot of garbage going on, being spewed out.
Shit ton of garbage.
Yeah, like in the whole movie, the joke is he has like this movie that he's producing, and the studio wants Bruce Willis for it and Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
And then at the end, there's this hilarious scene where the characters like, I don't want to give it away, but they're sort of showing that the movie's being filmed, and there's this very cheesy scene with like with Bruce Willis like rescuing Julia Roberts from like the gas chamber, because it's supposed to be like a film like being anti like capital punishment. Like it's so funny, the ending. It's such a great film. Like just everything that I feel about Hollywood right now, it's all in this film.
Definitely. I haven't seen this in a long time, but I remember watching it and just being blown away with how beautifully like directed this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was nominated for an Oscar for directing for this. I believe so.
He should have been if he hadn't been.
Yeah. Knowing the Academy, he probably wasn't nominated, but I think he was also nominated for screenwriting too, if I'm not mistaken. And the cool thing it says on the back here is special cameo menu featuring filmographies of over 50 actors that appeared in the film. So, I mean, that's fucking badass that he got that many actors to make like small cameos and shit. And obviously you can tell how much respect everyone had for Altman. And I know on Amazon Prime there's a Robert Altman like documentary, and I started watching. I'm like 30 minutes into it, and it's pretty damn good. Because Robert Altman, I mean, even up to the end of his career, he started getting back to his like groove, and then kind of had a couple stinkers there, but he's still, I mean, one of the best directors of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with this movie. The Player, ladies and gentlemen, I would give this movie 10 out of 10. I love the directing in it, and I'm a huge directing fan, and I would love to go into directing. That's what we're trying to shoot for in the future. So I love The Player, how it's filmed, and Robert Altman knows how to direct actors. It's not just, here's your paycheck, and you just improvise it however you want. Put in jokes, just jokes. But 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 10 as well. It's just, I mean, I have so many views on Hollywood, and this film pretty much nails every one of them.